I woke up to the kind of knocking that doesn't just wake you, it dislodges you from sleep. Violent, frantic, like someone was pounding with their whole body. I remember looking at the clock glowing on my nightstand. 4:30 a.m. I stumbled toward the door, heart already kicking at my ribs. The porch light flicked on as I opened it, and that's when I saw them. Liam. 7. Shivering so hard his teeth chattered like castanets. Mia. 4. Bare feet. Pink pajamas soaked with frost. Both of them crying. Aunt Haley, Liam said, voice cracked, Mom and Dad, they told us to go here. They drove away. For a moment, I didn't breathe. Not because I didn't believe him, but because I did. I pulled them inside so fast Mia stumbled into me. Their skin was icy, fingers stiff as sticks. I wrapped them in blankets, turned up the heat, made cocoa with shaking hands. And as they warmed, their words tumbled out in pieces. Mom and Dad were fighting again. They were tired of everything. They told the kids to figure it out. Then they dumped them at the end of my driveway in the dark, in 30-degree weather, and sped off. I should have been surprised. But all I felt was a cold, old anger rising like smoke. My brother, Mason, had been circling the drain for years, gambling, drinking, disappearing for days. His wife, Brielle, wasn't better. Together they were a storm, and the kids were always the debris. I tucked Liam and Mia into my bed. Mia fell asleep clutching my shirt. Liam kept whispering, "Don't make us go back." "I won't," I told him. "I promise." And I meant it. When the sun finally rose, I drove to their house. The driveway was empty, trash cans toppled, the front door cracked open like the house itself was ashamed. They weren't there. All I found was a stack of overdue bills, a burnt pot on the stove, and a smashed picture frame of their wedding photo. I left it broken on the floor. Hours passed. No call. No apology. Nothing. By noon the police were involved. By evening Child Protective Services met with me. They explained protocols, next steps, temporary custody. "Do you want to keep them with you for now?" they asked. I almost laughed. Where else would they go? But the thing about people like my brother is they always come back, not to take responsibility, but to reclaim control. And he did. 2 days later, just after dinner, there was another pounding at my door. Not desperate this time. Entitled. I opened it to see my brother swaying on the porch, smelling like whiskey and stale anger, Brielle standing behind him with crossed arms and smudged mascara. "You took the kids," he slurred. I stepped outside, shutting the door behind me. "No. You abandoned them." "That was a mistake," Brielle said. "We were stressed. You don't get to just steal our kids." The audacity was so thick I could taste it. "You left them to freeze," I said quietly. "In pajamas." "That's exaggerated," she snapped. "It's attempted neglect," I replied. "Possibly abandonment. Child endangerment. Pick whichever term scares you more." Mason jabbed a finger at me. "We're taking them home. Now." Behind me, through the window, I saw Liam's little face peek out. The terror in his eyes. I'd never felt something burn inside me the way it did in that moment. "No," I said. "You're not." My brother laughed, this ugly, surprised bark. "You think you can keep my kids from me? You're nothing, Haley. You've always been nothing." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I recorded everything. Their expressions froze. The kids told me what happened. The walk. The cold. The fight. The threats. CPS heard it too. The police have the report. And, I added, there's footage. Their heads snapped toward the security camera on my porch, the one they forgot I had. It caught everything, two small shapes shivering in darkness, knocking for help that never should have been needed. Brielle went pale. You set yourselves on fire, I said. All I did was hand out the matches. Mason lunged toward the door like he could somehow force his way in and magically fix the situation. I stepped forward, blocking him. You come near these kids again while the investigation is open, I said softly, and I will bury you in every legal way the system allows. He froze. Maybe it was the way I said it. Maybe it was the truth inside it. Police cars turned onto my street at that exact second, slow, deliberate. Brielle whispered, "Did you call them?" "No," I said. CPS did. The officers approached. My brother tried to bolt, but they stopped him with a hand to the chest. Not an arrest, not yet. Just a conversation. A warning. A record. A record that would follow him. They left 30 minutes later, but Mason and Brielle didn't. They stood in the driveway long after the cars were gone, staring at my house like it betrayed them. I didn't open the door again. That night, Liam crawled into my bed. Mia curled up on my chest. They both slept through the whole night, the first time in months, they told me later. A week passed. Then 2. Hearings, evaluations, supervised visits, temporary orders. And yesterday afternoon, the final ruling came down. The judge looked at me. Haley, you are being granted full custody. Mason's breath hitched like someone punched him. Brielle burst into tears. My lawyer placed a hand on my shoulder, but all I could think of was that freezing morning, those tiny fists knocking like death was behind them. When we walked out of the courthouse, Liam slid his hand into mine. Are we staying with you forever? He asked. I knelt in front of him. Yes, I said. You're safe now. I expected to feel relief. Or victory. Or triumph. But what I felt was something deeper. Because revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, a door closing forever. A judge's gavel landing like the end of a storm. A child finally falling asleep without fear. My brother wanted control. He lost everything. And I didn't have to destroy him. He destroyed himself. All I did was make sure the kids never froze again. And sometimes, justice doesn't arrive with handcuffs or courtroom drama, sometimes it comes quietly, in the sound of 2 children laughing in a warm kitchen, finally knowing they're home. That was the real revenge. Not anger. Not punishment. Peace. Safety. Freedom. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, it helps more than you know.